Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Happy 9th of April. Happy day 99 of the year. So it's the 9th of April and the day 99. So we've got some nines going on if you're into numerology. I know in the tarot, the 9 is getting towards the end of a cycle. It's getting towards completion, and then we start again with 10 and back to 0. Because 1 and 0 is, the way numerology works. You always just go back to the one number. So lots of 9s, if that means anything for you this morning. How are you feeling today? How's the weather where you're at? How's your environment around you? Are you noticing and observing how that's affecting your mood, how you're feeling? Hopefully it's a beautiful day wherever you are. It's kind of sunny, kind of cloudy, doesn't quite know what it wants to do here today in Bulgaria, but that's been good because I've been very productive in the studio today and took some of my art pieces outside and shot some photos in front of the brick wall that's in front of my studio. I've been super inspired obviously by the streets and just being here in my studio and just surrounded by a medieval castle. Like this was the medieval capital of Bulgaria. And then this was under Ottoman rule for a long time. It was also under communist rule. Like there's just been a lot of different layers of history in Bulgaria and this city especially. So there's just so much history, and you can just feel that in the buildings. You can feel it in the texture that's on the streets. It's just everywhere. There's just layers and layers and layers of history, and that's really been inspiring me and been inspiring my art. So I felt inspired today to go outside and take some photos using my environment and kind of checking in with the environment, because my art has been very much influenced by it. So it was kind of cool to take some photos of it, like take my pieces out of the studio and put them back into the streets, which is where they were originally inspired from. So that was a fun little exercise today. So hopefully you're feeling good on this beautiful Thursday. As I said, we're on day 99 of the year. Our word for today, according to 365 Tao by Ding Ming Tao, is homecoming. So yesterday on day 98, we said farewell. And today on day 99, we're coming home. So I love how this book just kind of has a cyclical, like obviously everything in life is a cycle, especially as it relates to the Tao. But we kind of follow patterns and follow cycles, and a lot of themes come up recurring. If you've been listening for the last couple of weeks, especially, like certain things will just keep coming up. Things will keep following through. Things will keep cycling through, and it's kind of what we spoke about just before. We went from day 99 saying farewell to 99 coming home. So the cycle is continuing. The motion keeps going. Life keeps moving forward. So find a nice, quiet and comfy place where you're not going to be disturbed for the next 15 minutes or so, remembering that 15 minutes is just 1% of your day. Get grounded, present, here and now. Take a couple of nice deep breaths to be present. Relax your system. Excuse me, grab your book. Grab your journal and something to write with, and let's start reading together on day 99 on the subject of homecoming. Where was Tao while I was gone? Wasn't I following it where I went? Do you think that there are two? After traveling a while, we come home to a familiar place, only we often look at it in a new light. Wow. That's really poignant for me, and if you travel as much as I do, I'm sure that resonates. After traveling a while, we come home to a familiar place, only we look at it in a new light. Were things different while we weren't here? We experienced so many new and different things while we were gone. Wasn't that Tao too? How can there be so many differences? You might argue that a mountain is a mountain, but our attitudes towards it are changeable. If we mistake our subjective viewpoints as something that is solid, permanent, and never relative to circumstances, then we will have no end to our problems. However, if we are always remembering that everything is comparative, then we can move through life in a much more dynamic way. There are not two ways. There is only one. It is so vast that we can experience widely diverging aspects of it and imagine that we are in different realities. This is a misconception. We cannot outrun Tao, cannot be outside of it. It is only our viewpoints that change to the degree that we think we are in differing dimensions. In the river of Tao, we are like minnows that can never plumb the length and breadth of the water. So that is an interesting passage. I'm not sure if I completely understand the entire context of it. I might have to reread it again in my own time. But there's definitely a couple of sentences that are very, very poignant. I think it's important, as one of these last sentences here, it is our viewpoints that change to the degree that we think we are in differing dimensions. And that's something really important to remember just about the human condition in general. Every single person that you encounter is going to have a different viewpoint. Even if you're both looking at the same thing, you're going to interpret it differently based on your unique perspective. So that's something we always have to remember. Just because we look at something and it's black to us, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be black to the other person. And neither is right or wrong. It just is. The thing is what it is. It is objectively what it is. It's an object. But as humans, we place our subjectivity upon those objects based on our reality, based on our uniqueness. So that's something to always remember. It is what it is, but we see it through a certain lens, and then we give it a subject to the object. I don't know if I'm making sense by saying that. So that's something to think about. Everyone is operating on their own unique system of being a human, and that's going to be different to yours, different to somebody else's, and it doesn't make it right or wrong, it just makes it different. There's nothing wrong with differences. As it says here, how can there be so many differences? Because there are so many different people in life. That's just how it is. And something else that I really liked is that first sentence. If you're a traveler like I am, you come home to a familiar place, somewhere you've been perhaps for your whole life. Because of those experiences that you've had while you've been gone, you might see things differently. So that's something that definitely resonates with me right now. I've been traveling for just over 2 months. I haven't been in my home. I've been in lots of different places, different countries, having very different experiences. So it's going to be pretty interesting to go back home eventually. I don't even know when that's going to be right now. But when I do eventually go home, it will be interesting to walk through that door to a familiar place, a place that I've called home for 15 years. And it'll be interesting to see, does it feel different? Have things changed? Of course they've changed. I've changed. The house itself probably hasn't, but the way I interpret it, the way I see it is going to change because I'm constantly changing, and the way that I view things is constantly in motion, right? Like everything else. The house is the house, but I'm putting my unique perspective on it. So I think that's the takeaway from today's passage. Things are what they are, but as humans, we have our own unique way of interpreting them, and we're all different, and being different is just fine. Doesn't mean it's right or wrong, it's just different. So I wish you a beautiful, beautiful Thursday. Thank you so much for being here for 99 days already of this year, and I will check